We're taking a look at CJ Bailey's game against Wake Forest this week. Just a quick look at his stats throughout this season. 720 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, only 1 interception, completing 70% of his passes. Also 84 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Been really effective as a runner, not really what he did this week. But what really sticks out to me with CJ Bailey, we saw it last week against Virginia, and we heard the announcers talk about it this week against Wake Forest. This dude just makes his decisions really quickly. He goes through his progressions really fast. The processing happens really fast. We watched a lot of Malik Washington on this channel, who's a true freshman for Maryland, and he's really talented. He's a really good true freshman quarterback. He makes really good decisions. They just don't happen as fast as CJ Bailey. We could just see how quick CJ Bailey makes his decision and then how quick he's able to kind of make the throw. So with this throw, what stood out to me, right? Pre-snap looks like cover 3. Post-snap looks like cover 3. The only question CJ Bailey has to answer is, does he think this middle hole defender who was blitzing, mugging blitz, all of a sudden he's dropping middle hole or whatever this drop is, can he get underneath this 10-yard dig route at the top of the screen here? And CJ Bailey says no and just puts the ball on the money. We're going to see a similar throw to that later where CJ Bailey was wrong, probably should have been intercepted, but that throw was really good. This one, CJ Bailey wants to hit this deep drag here. Does a good job not doing it right now because if he does, it's intercepted. Just kind of lets this route progress just a little bit and then able to put it on the money when he's open. One thing that did stick out to me with this throw here, one thing I want to see CJ Bailey do a better job of is just kind of feel this pressure from the left and kind of glide just a little bit more. What he does here is he kind of makes a football move and has to redo his mechanics. We'll see in a little bit. He has to do something similar, and the ball kind of sails on him. But, again, that was a good throw. This clip is just CJ Bailey's athleticism. This dude is really fast in a straight line. He's really agile. I just don't think this is a guy that's going to really shake you out of your shoes in the open field. But, in a straight line, we saw it last week. We saw it throughout the season. He is a really good athlete. Definitely has that in his bag to do stuff like this. Yeah, but if you're going to be asking him to hit you with 3 jukes in the open field, I just don't think that's what CJ Bailey does right now. So this throw is kind of similar to that first one we watched where he's trying to hit this deep crosser over the middle. He thinks that this middle backer, this middle dropper here is not in a position to make a play on the ball, and he was wrong. We're going to take a look at this one. I still think it was a good decision. I think 9 times out of 10, this throw gets made. This middle backer just kind of decided to drop as really right before CJ Bailey made the decision. Able to get a hand on it, just wasn't intercepted, but this one probably should have been intercepted. I think it's the right read. This is the thing with how fast that these progressions happen and how fast these decisions happen. He's going to be wrong sometimes, but I think in the long run, these throws end up being made. But good play by 43. I'll give him credit on that one. Yeah, on this one, this is kind of what I was talking about 2 throws ago, where sometimes when he has pressure in his face, he just kind of gets away from the good mechanics here, and I think that's what this was. This was the right decision. The decision-making is pretty much flawless with CJ Bailey, but this guy's just in his face, and you kind of see him the feet just don't look great on this one, and it kind of sails on him. But, again, I watch a lot of CJ Bailey, a lot of NC State. Those throws get made more than they get missed, I think. 2 plays later, this next play we're going to watch. A lot of pressure on him. Does a good job just kind of sticking in the pocket there and making the throw. Is CJ Bailey bad under pressure? No, definitely not. I think just sometimes he gets away from his mechanics when he's kind of flustered, and we saw that on that last throw that he missed. But for the most part, been really accurate in that regard. Now this one's dropped, but he kind of does this jump pass when he kind of has pressure in his face, and I think he just kind of loses some accuracy on it because I think he could have led this guy a bit closer to the numbers here. Man, this is still a really good throw to the opposite hash. I don't know if you see how he kind of comes off of his back foot there, but, another good play by number 5. This is kind of a similar one, and this one's even more on the money, where he's just kind of coming off of that foot here. It's kind of like a jump pass. he's still pretty accurate when the mechanics aren't, 100%. So that's what I'm seeing on this one. So this might be C.J. Bailey's best throw of the season, and it wasn't even complete. I think this time he does a lot better of a job despite all the stuff in front of his face. Look, he's in his progressions here. He takes a shot to the lower body, and this is clean mechanics, right? The footwork looks like that. There's nobody there. This is a good job of him not getting flustered, and this ball is just delivered on the money here. Another good play by the cornerback. I'm not really sure you could have asked for a better ball. Like, even without the pressure, this is a beautiful ball. Definitely in a spot where the receiver could have made a play on it. But that was C.J. Bailey this week against Wake Forest. Been having a really good season. We're going to watch him again next week. They're going to be playing a very difficult Duke defense. Duke's not been playing well. They have a lot of names on their defense. Really looking forward to see how C.J. Bailey kind of handles that top defense next week at Duke. Thanks for watching. You guys let me know what you're seeing.